Hello guys, you are welcome to So This Happened, where we highlight and review stories that made a buzz recently. My name is Margaret Osazuwa-Ifogay. Welcome to the show. Something big happened this week. Permit me to use the word big for lack of a better word. So the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been rearrested. First question that popped in my head, how was he caught? Wait, is it the real Nnamdi Kanu? Because this man has been running and then he has really hidden well. Then boom, hey, the photos hit me and I realized that it was real. He was truly arrested. So the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, had announced in Abuja that Nnamdi Kanu had been arrested. Shortly after the AGF's briefing, a distressed Kanu sought the permission of Justice Binta Inyako to address the Federal High Court upon his appearance for a continuation of trial. When his request was granted, the Biafran leader told the court in the presence of heavily armed security operatives that his life was being threatened as his house was invaded by security men. An angry Kanu told the Federal High Court in Abuja that contrary to what they think, that he did not run out of the country or jump bail granted to him because he wanted to escape trial, but that if he didn't flee when he did, he would have been killed. During the arraignment on Tuesday, Justice Binta Inyako ordered the DSS to inform Kanu's lawyers of his detention, thereby adjourning the case to July 26, 2021. Now, remember that Kanu was initially arrested on the 14th of October 2015 on an 11-count charge bordering on terrorism, treasonable felony, managing an unlawful society, publication of defamatory matter, illegal possession of firearm, and improper importation of goods, amongst others. His arrest at that time triggered massive protests by his supporters in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And then the next thing we heard was that he fled. And since then, the Interpol has been on his case. His brother, Kingsley Kanu, said he was arrested, detained, and handed over to the Nigerian authorities while on a visit to Kenya, stating that the country had violated the most basic principles of the rule of law and they must be held accountable. He further insisted that the British High Commission in Nigeria must insist on his brother's immediate release. You see, this Nnamdi Kanu's case, if you ask me, should be treated with utmost care, as this man represents a group of people who believe in his doctrine. See, my country people, there's an adage by Robert Frost that says, don't ever take a fence down until you know why it was put up. Ask him questions, don't shut him up. Let him tell you what he wants. If it's within the law, the decision is yours. And if not, the decision is still yours. But it's advisable to tread cautiously. The Indigenous People of Biafra are not smiling. In fact, they have outrightly warned in a statement written by their spokesperson, Ima Powerful, that if anything happens to their leader, they will hold the government responsible. If the law is going to take its full course, let it be as transparent as nylon, or even more than nylon if possible. Please, these are already trying times in Nigeria. Let's not make things worse. There are some things in life that are meant to bring joy to you just at the mere thought of it, but sometimes they end up bringing sadness. I never imagined that a day would come where I would put cake in the same sentence with a sad tale. Imagine that on a day like Father's Day, where children gather to celebrate their fathers, this man killed his son because the boy ate a slice of cheesecake. A man, Travis Stackhouse, has been sentenced to 20 years imprisonment after he killed his 5-year-old son over a slice of Father's Day's cake. The boy's caretakers had initially reported the child fell down the stairs, but since the police were not buying the report based on the injuries found on the boy, they decided to press further. Eventually, the boy's father, Stackhouse, confessed to the investigators, admitting that he punched the son in the stomach and hit him in the face because he ate his Father's Day cheesecake. Me, I'm just here wondering how sweet the cake was that he could bring himself to commit such a horrible act. Fast forward to when Stackhouse appeared before a judge, David Borowski. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison plus an additional 8 years of extended supervision after pleading guilty to 3 felony charges in relation to his son's death. Judge Borusky said the state could have sought a more severe charge against Steakhouse, but the state took into account that Steakhouse had admitted to the crime and ended a trial in order to enter a plea agreement. You know, this is beyond crazy and disheartening. How do you live with yourself after committing such an act? How do you beat your son to the point of death? Just how? Anyway, I'm glad though that he has been caught and he has been charged. Oftentimes, when something happens, the easiest thing for most people to do is ascribe the blame to something else or someone else. Even the president of Nigeria, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, has joined the bandwagons of blamers, as he keeps blaming everything and everyone for the present situation of the country. Buhari, in a recent statement, has said Nigerians are to blame for all the problems bedeviling the country, not his government. He claimed that contrary to what people think, ethnicity and religion are far from being the problems of the country. Recounting his struggles to get justice at the courts after disputed results of presidential election in 2003, 2007, and 2011, he gave instances when people that were from his own clan dismissed him in the court countless times. In his defense, it's Nigerians that have to step up and be better and stop hiding under the facade of ethnicity and religion. Our problem is not ethnicity or religion, it's ourselves, the president submitted. After my third appearance in the Supreme Court, I came out to speak to those who were present then. I told them that from 2003, I had spent 30 months in court. The president of the Court of Appeal, the first port of call for representation by presidential candidates, then was my classmate in secondary school. My legal head was Chief Mike Ahamba, a Roman Catholic and an Igbo man. When the president of the court decided that we should present my case, my first witness was in the box. Ahamba insisted that a letter should be sent to the Independent National Electoral Commission to present the register of constituencies in some of the states to prove that what they announced was falsehood. It was also documented. When they gave judgment, another Igbo man, the late Justice Nsofo, asked for the reaction from INEC to the letter sent to them. They just dismissed it. He then decided to write a minority judgment. That was after 27 months in court. We went to the Supreme Court. Who was the Chief Justice of Nigeria then? A Hausa like me, from Zaria. In 2007, who was the CGN? Kutigi, again, a Muslim from the north. After 8 months or so, he dismissed the case. Again, in 2011, because I was so persistent, Mustafa, a Fulani man like me from Jigawa, neighbor to my state, was a CGN. He also dismissed my case. I've taken you around this to prove that our problem is not ethnicity or religion, it is ourselves. I've refused to give up. I had to try to wear agbada after what happened to me in Kaki, our dear president said. Not a person no go here for this Nigeria, but this one Buhari is granting interviews and speaking out at a time like this. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. He's hoping to do. Toripe. So we have come to the end of another episode of So This Happened. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share all of our stories on social media. My name is Margaret Osazuwa. Bye for now.